Hi coders, CS Time channel here, and this video discuss about how to insert a node at the end of a doubly linked list. When we work with a linked list, there are two conditions of the list. The first condition is when the list is empty, and the second condition is when the list is not empty. And when we work with doubly linked list operation, we need two pointers. The first pointer is head pointer. It's a pointer to point to the first node. And the second pointer is tail pointer. It's a pointer to point to the last node. Let's see the situation where the doubly linked list is empty. The doubly linked list is empty. It will look like this. Both head and tail pointers point to the null. And if you wish to add a new node at the end of the doubly linked list, which is here, then we will need to adjust the head pointer here to point to the new node like this. And then we also need to adjust the pointer of the tail to point to the new node like this. So our doubly linked list now will look like this. Now let's see the situation when the doubly linked list is not empty. When the doubly linked list is not empty, then the linked list will look like this. We have a pointer named head that point to the first node, and then we have another pointer named tail that point to the last node. And if you wish to add a new node at the end of the doubly linked list here, then we need to adjust the pointer of the node that pointed by the tail here to point to the new node. And then we also need to adjust the previous pointer belong to the new node to point to the node pointed by the tail, like this. And then we need to adjust the pointer of the tail to point to the new node, like this. So our doubly linked list now will look like this. Let's see the Java implementation. Now we will write a method to insert a node at the end of the doubly linked list. But we will just continue from the last program that we created in the previous video. So we will still use the display forward method to test our insert last later on. So here, we'll just write our method here. I will name it as insert last. And then we have one parameter, the data that we want to insert. Our first job is to create the object for the new node. And then we will insert the data from here. As I explained in the visualization just now, we have to check whether our doubly linked list is empty. To do that, we will check if head equal to null. If the head equal to null, it means our linked list is empty. In the visualization, I asked you to point the head to the new node. And then I also asked you to point the tail to the new node like this. But if our doubly linked list is not empty, so it means we need else here, then we insert our new node in the last node by telling the tail dot next to point to the new node. And then we also tell the new node dot previous to point to the tail. And then after that, we tell the tail to point to the new node. Here's the program. For efficiency, then I will copy this. I'll move it to this one. Whether our doubly linked list is empty or not, we will still execute this one. And then we don't need this one here because we already have it here. So we delete one. As soon as we insert it at the end of the doubly linked list, then we increase the length by 1 like that. Let's see one more time. At first, we have to create the object for the new node, and then we check if the doubly linked list is empty. How do we know the doubly linked list is empty? When the head equal to null. And then we give instruction to the head to point to the new node. And then we also tell the tail to point to the new node. If the doubly linked list is not empty, then we tell the tail dot next to point to the new node. And then the new node dot previous to point to the tail. And then we instruct tail to point to the new node. Once we insert a new node, that the length should increase by 1. So to test this, we create the object for the doubly linked list. And then now we will insert one node, say A here, like that. And then we will test it by calling dl.displayForward. So when we insert A, our linked list still empty. So let's see the result. There you go. We insert A here. Our linked list still empty, so A is the first. But when we insert one more node, let's see one more time. So we should have Z after A. Then we see the result. We have it here, Z inserted at the end of the linked list. I hope it helps you to understand insert at the end of doubly linked list. If you learned something from this video, please subscribe and like for more videos. Thanks for watching!